When you're there, you must feel that you are at a certain peace.
Yeah, sense of calm.
And that requires elimination. Whatever you don't need it around you.
What are the decor trends that have been changing, and what do you see the most at this present time?
Right now, I would say that less is more.
So how do you incorporate minimalism?
The idea is not to get rid of everything. For any new project, we take a deep dive into the client's personal requirements. Bring in a lot of natural light, bring the outside in, so that you always have this feeling that you are connected to the nature.
The family time rather than bringing all the clutter that you have from the office, right?
Correct.
Hello everyone, welcome to Decode Décor, brought to you by Panache Artistry. My name is Abhishek Nayak and I'm the founder and CEO of Panache, and today we are going to explore how to create calm and mindful spaces with Amol Kshatriya. Amol is the founder and CEO of Good Design and Build. Good Design and Build is an organization based out in Chiswick, London, and they've been in the industry for last 10 years, and they mostly look after the interior and architectural practices. And also Amol has been a great mentor to me during all these years in my entrepreneurial journey. So we're very excited to have him on our show and as our first guest. So without wasting a lot of time, let's get on to it. Hope you guys enjoy. Welcome to the show, Amol.
Thank you very much for having me here, Abhishek.
How do you feel? How's London weather treating you today? How's everything with you?
It's been great. It's the sun's finally come out. We've waited long enough. It's been an on and off wettish summer as you normally have in London, but it's great. And it's good to be here talking to you.
Thank you so much. And it's so funny that being a British podcast, we just start off with talking about the weather, right?
We must.
There's nothing better to talk about weather apart in UK. Apart from weather, everything else seems too boring, isn't it?
That is very, very true.
Definitely. Cool. So let's get on with it. Let's start off with giving a bit of overview about you to our listeners. So why don't we get started off with a bit of overview of who you are and what do you do and how do you do that, and what is GDB, what does GDB do, how long you guys have been in the business, and give us a bit of overview of everything, how things started with you.
Sure, thank you for that. So Good Design and Build is a full-service interior architect practice. We primarily serve residential homeowners who reside in Victorian or period properties in London, and the services that we offer include full-scale renovations from interior to architectural, including project management.
That sounds interesting. So, once I know what you guys do, I want to know how long you guys have been in the business.
We've been going on for about 10 years now.
That is a really long time. So, with you being in the industry for last 10 years, what different have you been doing to stay relevant in the industry for such long? Because it usually gets very hard with the changing interior trends and with the up and coming new designs, new aspects that the clients are looking for. How have you maintained to stay relevant in this span of one whole decade?
So one of the things that Good Design Build has been very particular since our inception is that we always said that every project will be bespoke project. And by bespoke, what we mean is that we really take a deep dive into the client's personal requirements, their goals, the problems that they're looking to solve, and then bring in that the core,
the personalization aspect around.
the personalization aspect around, where the idea is to create to turn the home into a sanctuary for them, and bring in that mindful calm into the space that we are crafting for our clients. And it differs for every client. So every client has different lifestyle, has different day-to-day routines. And what we do is that we factor that into the designs that we offer.
Yeah, so basically like a therapist for the living space, right?
Correct.
Yes. With that being said, let's move on to the next question that we have. So the next question that we have for you is, with you being in the industry and staying relevant, what are the decor trends that have been changing, and what do you see the most at this present time? What are people more inclined towards? Is it more maximalistic, loud tone colors, or is it neutral tones, a bit more calm, held back, minimalistic? Which side is the audience tilting at this minute?
Right now, I would say that less is more
Okay.
is currently trending. Minimalist designs are greatly valued by the clients because everyone is looking to declutter. There is so much
Yes.
going on. There's so
Correct.
much clutter in our mind. So the space that we live in has to be minimal. Has to basically bring in that. When you are there, you must feel that you are at certain peace.
Yeah, sense of calm.
Exactly, and that requires elimination of
Correct.
things like whatever you don't need it around you. So the
Yeah.
colors are also reflective of the same, the calm and sanctuary light. So natural materials, plants, stone, timber, the color palette, which is very neutral, gray
Yeah.
and pastel. And what that does is that it automatically puts you in this zone where
Correct.
anything distracting
Yeah.
goes out of
Yes.
your thoughts.
And you can focus a bit more, and you can be a bit more channeled while you're at your home, and then you can concentrate a lot more with the family time rather than bringing all the clutter that you have from the office, right?
Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
that makes a lot of sense. So, the next thing is when you start a new project, how do you ensure the space will be calm and mindful? I can understand you just mentioned you add natural elements, wood, and all of that. But what exactly do you guys look into it purposefully? Like you want to make the space calm and mindful. How do you look into it when you get a new project?
So what we do for any new project, we take a deep dive into the client's personal requirements. So we organize an initial consultation, and that's a very detailed question and answer session
Correct.
between us and the client. So we understand what exactly the client's personality is, what are their needs, and what they are looking to do.
Correct.
And we basically draw our design brief from that conversation,
Nice.
and then integrate into the designs by creating different mood boards, presenting a color palette, a texture palette, a spatial organizational
Correct.
palette to the client, so then they understand what kind of design elements we're trying to bring in to.
And they can understand the vision that you guys are looking at that point of time, right?
Correct.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. With that, so definitely you guys would always be looking to create, like you just mentioned, to create a sanctuary kind of environment in the living space wherever you guys are working.
Correct.
So minimalism plays a huge role in it, right? So how do you incorporate minimalism into your design process when you're speaking to the client, even if you know the client might be looking for something else, but definitely having minimalism brings a lot of well-being and all of that in the house. So how do you suggest them and guide them through that journey?
That's a great question, and it's a conversation.
Correct.
That happens between us and the client, and where we encourage the clients to do the decluttering and really ask that question: if I need this particular piece in the house, and then we guide the selection of any interior pieces that the client chooses based on what sentimental value does it hold towards them, or what functional value it adds to the space that we are creating.
Yeah.
And if we keep the conversations around these two fundamental questions of functional requirement and sentimental and
Yeah.
design value, and then it automatically leads us to this minimalistic creation
Correct.
of an interior space.
Yeah, I imagine that can be challenging, especially if the client is having a lot of personal items. Because obviously, if I'm going to build a house, I want to feel that it is my place. So I want to make it a bit more personal, want to add a bit more personal elements. But you being a designer or the architect or the interior expert, how do you suggest the balance between them? Because with you telling minimalism is something which is highly important at this age and time, how are we going to balance that personal items? Because with me as a person, I will have a lot of baggage because I've been moving for a lot of time, so I will have a lot of things which I don't want to let go of. So how do you suggest your clients, or how do you see at things and help them balance this aspect of personal items and the things that are necessary, that is minimalism, creating a calm space, decluttering aspects?
So we, as I said, it's all about becoming an essentialist.
Yeah.
And when you want to become an essentialist, and you start asking yourself these questions, like the process involves with the clients what we like to call it as explore, eliminate, and execute. So we explore the possibilities. Like what are the possessions that you already have and that you hold very dear to them,
Yeah.
and a lot of that comes out from the conversations, and the client end up telling us okay, hey, we really have kept these items. We thought we really liked them, but having these conversations of exploring and elimination, we actually can get rid of certain pieces that we don't really need. So it's not, the idea is not to get rid of everything
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
of all the things that you've collected, but only to hold on to the items that mean a lot to you.
Yes.
And then you see yourself, you built your memory, so you've been holding a piece of a sideboard or a console table that's been in your house for generations.
Correct.
And you want to keep
Heritage,
it.
yeah.
So it's a conversation around those issues.
And that's how you help them balance these things out, because obviously without the balance, the minimalism that is required around the space just gets compromised with having a load of personal items. So I definitely agree with what you're telling. Having a right balance makes a lot of difference. So let's get into the next aspect of it, right? So does nature play a role in your design creation aspect? Do you feel tilted towards adding natural elements like, say, plants, wood, these kind of aspects? How are you looking towards this? Are these the main aspects that go into it, or does it give that different vibe to the space? How do you look towards these aspects?
No, absolutely. Nature plays a far important role in any space creation that we go through. The idea is always to use natural elements.
Correct.
Because they do bring in the calm. They have grounding effect on the client's psyche. So what we do is, our principle of design involves in integrating the natural elements into the design, bringing the outside in by having a lot of greenery, the plants, the stone, and the timber, which are the materials that we always use in our projects.
So, with all these principles, having a calm space, mindfulness, minimalism, does it really have an effect on well-being of a human? Does it impact in any sort of way having these aspects, or is just for aesthetic purpose? What do
No.
you feel in that manner?
I think it definitely has a deep impact on the personal well-being of our clients who are currently, many of them are currently living in a very cluttered, compressed spaces, and when we transform the space with interior design, uh, a lot of clients call us and tell us how much it has benefited to their mental health just by, if you go out for a walk in the nature, and a similar experience can be created by clever interior planning, as I said earlier, by integrating lots of natural light,
Wood, plants.
timber, plants, and stone, and again complementing that with ambient artificial light.
Correct.
To create that a very cozy space where you feel safe, looked after, and
adding textures as well with vases and different elements as such.
Absolutely. Vases, you have fresh flowers and plants, and you walk into that space and it automatically lifts your mood up.
Yes, completely agree with that. So, I think we have covered almost everything that we had in mind. So, the last segment of the show, what we want to do is we want to understand, we want our listeners to get some 3 tips from your end as to how can they create the space a bit more calm, mindful, have that minimalism, and head towards slow living, right? What are these 3 tips that you want to give our listeners?
The 3 tips that I would give to your listeners are: number 1 is declutter.
Yeah.
Really think deeply about what you do not really need, and then that decluttering will really help you create a minimalistic space. Number 2, use natural materials, like the stone, timber, and have lots of plants in your house, which will help your house turn into a sanctuary.
Yes.
And number 3 is, bring in a lot of natural light, bring the outside in, so that you always have this feeling that you are connected to the nature, you're grounded, and those 3 things I think will really help transform their homes.
Lovely. And to finish the segment off, we just want to touch up on how did you get inspired with starting GDB? What kicked you off? How were the things when you started off? And which was the project which made you feel, yes, we are heading the right direction now in life, as a brand, as a team? And how are things happening at this minute with GDP?
Yes, thanks for asking that. Well, when we started Good Design and Build, our idea was to offer a full service company that includes a complete end-to-end service
Yeah.
and project management along with interior design for our clients, and that really set us apart because every project is a bespoke, and every project we are the point of contact for our clients from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
What we are after being 10 years in business, we are now really serving people who are in the market for luxury homes, and they want a proper interior architecture oriented assistance, and we are happy our team has grown rapidly, and we have created some wonderful projects.
Lovely. And tell me a bit about the first project, right? The jitters that you were having. Like, how was it when you went on the site for the first time, speaking to your client, getting their perspective? Because now that you've been in the industry, you know the drill, you know the pattern, you know the questions that you might get. But how was it when you started off?
Oh, it was challenging. We were very new in the market. We were meeting the clients, and again, you have that nervousness of new beginning. But we've been fortunate enough to have some wonderful clients who supported our journey, who were very cooperative, and who actually put their faith in us and our ideas. And then when they became really happy after the project was completed, that kind of boosted our confidence even more, and that's how it has rolled down.
Definitely, that sounds amazing. And yeah, can you tell us a bit about the one project that has stayed with you, where you felt you've done some amazing work that just stayed back with you, and you really feel proud about talking that project to your clients? That is your first thing that goes into your portfolio while you're discussing your client decks and all of that. Which is that one project?
To be honest, like every project is a bespoke project for us. Every client
Yeah.
is a client because there is no one size fits all.
Correct.
When every client comes to us, and every space is designed and crafted as per their requirements. Although there are a couple of projects that I really hold. One of my first projects where we converted a Georgian mansion at a in Chiswick. I think it was Chiswick, or if I remember correctly, and that was a wonderful project to work on. I think it's called the Little House in Chiswick. It's on our website.
Okay.
Where we had lovely clients, Komal and Jasmine, who were very involved. They were very keen on some interior design ideas, and they brought in a lot of their input on that. So it was wonderful job to work on.
It really feels amazing when the client has a lot of their ideas as well. I understand it might be challenging at some point, because once the project has kicked off, if at all there's a lot of changes, that pushes the project timeline and everything to a higher extent. But having that conversation, getting to know them, understanding and getting their ideas on board also makes the client feel really well, right?
It does. It feels them a lot more involved in the
Yes.
project.
Yes.
They know that they are the ones who are actually leading this design journey,
Yes.
because ultimately it's their
It's
house.
them who has to stay back there. Yes.
And the new technology and social media, Instagram and Pinterest channels like these, what they've done is they've kind of almost democratized interior design.
Correct.
So a lot of clients are now creating their own mood boards. They're looking out things like and companies like your company like Panache makes it more appealing for them to take this plunge and hey, look, I really love this particular company that is offering a certain product, and I would like that particular piece in my house. And sometimes a project starts by that. A client will show us that, hey, I've found this piece of furniture and I would like to
That to
craft
be
a house around
integrated.
that,
Yeah.
and that's how it goes.
Lovely. That was amazing. I think we can wrap it. Thank you so much for being on the show, Amol. It was great having you.
Thank you for having me.
There is a small gift that we want to give away to you. There you go. A small
lovely.
vase for you that you can include in your home and create that calm and mindful space that we spoke about all these 15 minutes.
Thank you very much. Can I open it? And
Definitely
we have a
go
look
for
at
it. Please, definitely go for it. Do you want me to help you out?
No, I think I've got it. This is, oh wow, very nice packaging.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh wow, look at that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, so just have to pull it out. Yep, there we are.
Fantastic. Should we show it to your viewers?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here, Amol. Have a great day.